Hello, I thought I would try and film a quick video this morning. I've noticed doing my 100-day project that I struggle to get my flowers to look quite natural, different shapes. Yesterday, I was doing an art course with Charlotte Hamilton. I'll link it down below. And we did this sketch and it just made me think, you know, how simple that is, but I really love it. So I want to try and do something like this, but with lots of different flowers and different shapes. That was our starting idea. Then yesterday, I was messing on this paper that I'm not a massive fan of. It is, sorry Winsor and Newton, I do love you. Oops, but I don't like this paper. It is their Professional 300 gram A3. Oh, that's why I probably don't like it. It's only 25% cotton. Always check how much cotton is in your watercolour paper. Cold press. It's not the Professional. That's why I don't like it. That explains it. So yeah, I don't really love how this is working. So I did some random circles and was testing out some colour mixes. Cling film. I've never used cling film on watercolour paper, but I really like how that turned out. That's salt. Again, I like that because I do love a lot of texture in my work. So yes, that was what I did yesterday. Just like 5-minute ideas. Probably should change my water, but we'll see how we get on. So when I'm thinking about flowers, I'm trying to keep them natural. Got my cheat sheets. You want to think about shape of the flowers, also big flowers, little flowers, having a mixture, direction, not all having them face the same way, which I think I kind of did on this one. Sometimes that can work, but yeah, we have one going that way as well. Maybe could have done a few smaller ones, because you've got half there. You have got a different variety of shape, direction, texture, value, so have some lighter, some darker, colour variation. We've got some light and darks, purples, greens. Composition is a tricky one. I quite like how this is all over one side and you've got the blank space over there. And edges, especially with watercolour, you know, having hard and soft edges. So that's what I want to be thinking about whilst I'm painting. Because when I start my 100 days little samples, my mind goes blank and it's like I've forgotten any type of flower shape. I'm thinking we just go for it. What palette shall we use? Well, let's use... Ooh, I really need to tidy my desk. It's got quite messy during the 100-day project. I'm going to use the Roman Schmalz sketching palette because I like it a lot. And I've also got lemon yellow in there. I'm going to give them a bit of a spray. Maybe spray a bit of the paper as well. Let's see what we can create. Say this could go. So like we've got here, you got flowers pointing that way, dark, light. So I think we might use that one as my first sort of inspiration. So I've got the cling film as well. I thought we might use that again. And I've got Pipette, which I've never used before with watercolours, not since being at university anyway. That's not what I'm using, is it? Wrong palette. It's still early this morning. So we'll mix up a nice green. And we might start with some stems. Let's see how this pipette... Ooh, I think I'm going to need to mix more. So I'm just finding it very hard to get things to look. That didn't work, did it? Sometimes I like to use the back of a of a brush to just... So if you're doing the 100-day project, how is it going? I have stalled a little bit, but I've got no plans today. My son's home, so I'm sure there'll be some demands at some point for food. I maybe should have... Oh, let's get some water in there. It's nice to start the day with a bit of experimenting. Oops. So we've got some nice lights and darks. I'm not sure that's going to take a long time to dry. I've also got this very battered looking brush. Thought that might give us some texture. Something I often forget about watercolours is that it does dry so much lighter. So, so I do like to use a lot of water. I love that colour. I think that's the nickel azure gold. So nice. I often find leaves very tricky to keeping them natural looking. I'll let that dry a bit. I might have to get my hairdryer out. My eldest son was here at the weekend and borrowed a few batteries and took them back to his university with him. I don't blame him. That's what parents are for, isn't it? So petals, I tend to do them the same shape there. I'm not going for botanical realism, but I do want them to look like flowers. Blot the cling film on, and I did read that it's best to let it dry. So I haven't had a massive amount of time to film videos lately, and also knowing what to film is really tricky as well. This YouTube business is quite complicated. So varying your brush size as well is going to make a massive difference. And because I am using quite a limited palette, everything should harmonise quite well, so we don't need to worry about that so much. So now I'm looking at these, I thought could hang off here quite well. They're quite small, these pictures in this book. I think my terrible eyesight doesn't want to cannot see what I'm doing. It's a nice sunny, bright, spring-like day in the UK today, which is, I think, inspired me to film. I think I'm 2 days behind on the 100-day project, but I have been tending to work on like four pieces at the same time, which has helped. So I'm going to do that today as well. Right, let's pause and let that dry. So I've dried that with the hairdryer, so it might not be perfect. Ooh, that's ugly. Really don't have the patience sometimes for watercolours, but we will plough on, give that another blast, I think, see if we can save this blob. Right, what I might do is just lightly sketch out, if I can find a pencil. Oh, let's use a Inktense pencil. Are we recording? Yes, we are. And I thought I'm trying to do like a negative space. Negative space? Yes, that's. It's like I couldn't remember if it was negative space or negative shape. Doesn't matter, does it? We'll have some leaves. Getting leaves to look organic can be, and I think the best way sometimes is to do a continuous line. Stops me overthinking. I think it could be a drinking game if how many times I say I don't like this paper. I do agree that you can use any paint, any brushes, but paper makes all the difference. I think if I got more experience with watercolour, then maybe that wouldn't be such an issue. I quite like these brushes, and they're quite reasonable. That Dale Rowney Aquafine Round in the 10. They're nice. I am also somebody who likes to fill up every inch of the page, which I don't think is the best for watercolour. I think leaving that white space makes such a difference. I think I will put colour on that, but not much. Come back to that. Oops, I've just done some really dark, and we don't have much dark going on. Maybe I'm working too small for my 100-day project. I'm quite liking the freedom of working on bigger sheets of paper. I'm trying to use the brush to get the shape of the leaves. It's definitely, we definitely need some practice with that. Trying to define this petal a little bit. I should do one of these every morning. It would be a great start to the day. Collections of flowers make me so happy seeing them. It's quite hard getting foliage to look natural as well, isn't it? I think we'll leave that. I quite like that little area. This flower could have a little bit of something going on in the middle of it. Because I don't know what to do with that, let's cling film it. Now there's just this to bring a little bit of definition into it. I think that was meant to be a leaf. It's a good way to do a long leaf. So it's so important to experiment, isn't it? I would never have made that mark if I hadn't have done this. It's so easy to become very controlled with watercolours. So with this, I'm just making a petal shape by folding a bit of cardboard. Give it some stems. Whoa, I'm just so heavy-handed with my pen. Cute. I think things go a bit wrong when I try and make them look too realistic. So tighten up and panic. I don't like this leaf. See how we can loosen it up a little bit. If in doubt, don't use a brush, I think is what I'm learning to do. Mix up some more pen. I do think the happy accidents is where the magic happens, isn't it? So yeah, we're not going to have a piece of art we want to put on the wall, but we've learned a lot doing this. I do find foliage very difficult to get looking quite natural, so I think this is a good way to do it. I love how this bit's left that white section there. It's worked out quite sweet. Oh, that didn't work. Right, we need to save that flower. Sometimes it would have been better to have left it. That's okay. I think we've got a lot of variation going on. We've got smaller flowers, bigger flowers. What does the centre of a flower look like? Let's have a look. In fact, I think I've put so much paint on there. It's say no more. Let that dry. I'm going to do one more, and I think I won't talk through the next one. I'll just put it onto time lapse, and then we can see how that goes. It's perforated this, so that's quite handy. So I can let that dry while I work on another. Got a little bit carried away on this one, but I like it. I think sometimes when I'm stuck with watercolour, it's really good to go back to just using one colour. And I tend to like using indigo, and I've just been using the Cotman indigo because I've used it really, really thickly. And if I was buying Daniel Smith or something like that, I would be too precious over it. But I really like how this one's turned out. We've got a lot of texture, darks, lights. Yeah, I'm going to let that dry. That is going to take ages to dry. Oh, I forgot to use salt. Oh, hang on. I'll let that dry. I'm sure I'll put a picture somewhere of it. So now these other ones have dried. I like the first one. I like the colours that I've used in this one. I think this doesn't stand out as much as I would have liked, but I do love the texture. This one, the colours went a bit crazy, a bit muddy. I think I needed to change my water. Quite lazy with that. I like how this leaf and this flower's turned out. So yeah, bits I like, bits I don't. So I'll probably cut these up and put them in my sketchbook because I love that. And this one. So I think now cut out the bits I like and re-collage them somewhere else. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, give it a like and subscribe. I think my next video is going to be like a wrap up of what I've been doing lately, and see where we go from there. So yes, thank you for watching and take care everybody. Bye.